What is up, all? The Sequence of Prime, Enter. And this album came out in 2012 on corporatedemon.com. The Sequence of Prime is a one-piece consisting of Brandon Duncan, and he is from Virginia. And he plays a mixture of experimental, metal, thrash, and industrial. And one of the things that really stands out for me on this record is Brandon Duncan's vocals, which have a very human quality to them. It's not a deep, guttural type vocal. It has this very everyday man tone to it. He starts, oftentimes he starts off with this yell and it increasingly gets more frustrated until it's just this razor sharp, high pitched, just scream, which I can really identify with, and it immediately pulls me in to the songs on this record. And it also enhances the music that's being displayed on this record. If he did opt for a deep, guttural type vocal, I don't think it would have the same effect. I think that it would drown out all the amazing guitar work and drum work and bass work displayed on this record, and all the bizarre sounding industrial type sounds layered throughout this record. And this vocal just works perfectly for this very, very abrasive record that has been created. And this album, Enter, compared with the Sequence of Prime's debut album, Virion, this really steps it up with the abrasiveness. There's absolutely no room to breathe from start to finish on this record. And even when it feels like you are going to get a breath of fresh air, just a moment to reflect what just happened, guitars come rolling in and are either doing this really damaged type guitar effect, or all instruments are firing in all cylinders, creating this very machine-like beast of a sound. And I'm really liking the fact how Brandon Duncan is not afraid to teeter towards the bizarre and very experimental on this record. There's often times where you just do not know where the music is going to head, and there's all these just interesting styled twists throughout this entire record. Like on the track Hologram, which starts with a very minimalist style drum and a squealing guitar layered over top of it, before these thick, lingering chords creep in and these damaged guitar patterns begin their decoration. And things continue to get faster and faster until we're into this very doomsday-ish type sound with all instruments just firing on all cylinders. And it sounds just absolutely vicious. Another track on here entitled Schwarzschild Radius. Guitars create this descending pit of sound that just repeats and repeats. And drums and guitar and bass come together and they create this very machine gun riff style that you just can't help but just grit your teeth to, and it dips into these just beefed up, chunky chords that just are the soundtrack for our Circle Pit in Hell. And another track I'm really digging on this record is entitled Directed Panspermia, which combines tremolo picking with drums that sound absolutely barbaric, and all instruments creep in, and it's just full-on controlled chaos. You feel like this track is just going to dissipate. It's just going to fall apart. It's just going to be a complete mess of nothing, but it stays together. It's loosely just staying together, creating this very chaotic, just absolutely blissful sound, in my opinion. And this track just bleeds into the track Shades, which just absolutely makes me drool all over my iPhone whenever I'm listening to it. It's just layers upon layers of speed and abrasiveness. And the closing track is entitled Enter, and from what I gather from listening to this record, I hope it's a big teaser for the next Sequence of Prime record. Once again, all instruments and Brandon Duncan are firing on all cylinders, and it just comes to a screeching halt where you hear just sounds malfunctioning and everything just breaking down, and you get a moment of silence and the record's over. And this album by far is the most abrasive thing I have heard in 2012. And with that, I hold this record in high regard. And about this record, it's definitely one of those records that should be listened to from front to finish. Every track pretty much bleeds into another. And if you close your eyes and just listen to this record, it's almost like watching a movie with the visions you get from listening to this record. And if you follow along with the lyrics while listening to this record, you're just opening up a whole another world that is created through Inter. Yeah, when I listen to this record, my imagination is running absolutely wild. It's a complete mind fuck. But definitely peep this record out. This is just an amazing record in my opinion. And if you check out the description box below, there will be a link to this record where you can download it legally and free. And there's a variety of different formats you can download this record with as well. MP3, FLAC, and their AAC, I believe. But yeah, definitely peep this album out. It's the Sequence of Prime, Inter. And this album came out in 2012 on corporatedemon.com. Just a sick record. Extremely raw, experimental, and it's a must listen. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you all next time.